when I got interested in science fiction and fantasy, mostly science fiction nowadays, there wasn't much fantasy, I decided that I would be an astronaut or a spaceman, as we called it then. They hadn't actually coined the word astronaut. That didn't come to the Mercury program, but I thought it would be cool to be a spaceman. But you know, they weren't taking any applications for spaceman, as I learned later. I did go to the Hayden Planetarium and sign up for a trip to the moon, which they still owe me. They haven't delivered on that yet. And at a certain point, I said, well, okay, maybe I can't be a spaceman, but I can write about spacemen. So I'll write science fiction and fantasy and comic books. And that was pretty good. And you know, my comic fanzines stories were being published. You know, the White Raider and Manta Ray and all these other cool heroes that I invented. So I thought I was kind of on track for that. But then one year in like my junior year in high school, the teacher said, well, why don't you, the assignment was to research what you wanted to be and write a report on the career that you envisioned. So I researched fiction writing and discovered in the course of my research that the average fiction writer, now we're talking 1964, thereabouts, the average fiction writer made $1,200 a year from their fiction, and even in 1964, I knew that wasn't a hell of a lot. So I said, I better figure out something else to do here besides this fiction writing thing. And the writing was the thing I was best at, so I settled on journalism, because I was on the school paper and all that. I'll be a journalist, and I knew like there were people like Clifford Simak, who was a journalist all his life and wrote his great science fiction novels on the side. So that seemed a good path for me. And once I decided on that, Northwestern has the best journalism school in the country, so I wanted the best, and I applied there, and in a fit of madness, they let me in. You know, I often tell young aspiring writers, of whom I meet many at events like this, and when I teach Clarion or things like that, that there's a lot of great things about a career in writing science fiction and fantasy, but it is not a career for anyone who needs or values security, because you will have none. It is a career for someone who is a bit of a gambler and enjoys rolling the dice, and then rolling the dice again and rolling the dice again. I've had some terrific success in my life, both early and late, and I've also crapped out a few times. My career has crashed and burned at least twice, where I thought I might never, you know, sell or publish another word. So that's the kind of career you're entering into if you want to write science fiction and fantasy. One of ups and downs. So be prepared for that. I do believe in this whole idea of community, whether it's Santa Fe, New Mexico, or Bayonne, New Jersey, where I grew up, or my larger family of fandom. And fandom is my family. I've been going to these things since 1971. I come to these conventions to see old friends, like many of the people who are on the stage here the other night, who I've known for decades, and it's like a family reunion whenever I go to the convention. And then I meet new people who are, young fans and young writers coming up and young artists, and some of them become my friends too. And it's like any family, there's always, crazy Uncle Fred and boring Cousin Pete. And you have a few odd guys in your family, but for the most part, I love this fanish family, and I hope some of you will too. So if you are at this first convention, I'm glad you came, and welcome to the family. Thank you.